Gifts and flowers offered to the skaters at the end of their performance must be completely wrapped, and we thank you very much for your cooperation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to introduce to you the officials for this event. Representing the International Skating Union, please welcome the referee of this event, Feng Huang. The panel of judges. Judge number 1, Hailan Jian from China. Judge number 2, Kitty Delio Lafort from the United States of America. Judge number 3, Nadezhda Peretskaya from Kazakhstan. Judge number 4, Albert Ziegman from Israel. Judge number 5, So-Young An from Korea. Judge number 6, Carolina Matessa from Sweden. Judge number 7, Patricia Moritz from Australia. Judge number 8, Karen Butcher from Canada. And judge number 9, Susanna Plesnikova from the Czech Republic. The technical panel, the technical controller, Attila Seuss. The technical specialist, Sung Jin Yan. And Fabio Mascarello.
Hello everyone. Coming up is the final event here in Bangkok, the men's free program. And just before we get started, we want to take a moment to thank the Thailand Skating Federation and all the volunteers for producing such a wonderful and warm environment for the ISU skating family. We thank you for your kindness, and we look forward to coming back again. Well, there are 10 different nations in the top 10 placements after the short in the men's program, and it's ever so close. So let's begin. The men's free program starts right now.
Welcome back, everyone, to Bangkok, Thailand for the final event. As the sun sets, the clouds move in as we fly over the neighborhood and the mall in which this facility, the ISU Center of Excellence is hosted on the 5th floor of the mall as we come live inside with the men's free program about to take to the ice. I'm your host, Ted Barton, looking at the officials for this event. Mark Hanratty, 8,000 kilometers away at home. It's been a great joy to work with you, Mark. It's just amazing. The technology just allows us to feel like we're just beside each other.
It really, really does. And just, it blows my mind sometimes.
I know you'd rather be here. I know. We've talked about it's much better to be on site as we take a look at the start order for this event. It's so much fun to speak with the skaters and the coaches, of course. But the ISU has always used the Junior Grand Prix as research and development. What are we able to do within the event, around the event? How are we able to expose this to the world, which we do through our streaming, and how can we use the technology to make it possible to be at home and still be here and all that type of stuff. So that's why we are doing what we're doing. Times we are together, sometimes we're both away from the rink, and sometimes one will be on site and one will be at home. So anyways, you're joining us from a long ways away. What time is it there?
And well, actually, it's quite amazing because after the free dance event, I've woken up, seen my kids, made their breakfast, and I returned to my little man cave in the garage. So
In the garage, yeah, exactly. I saw you mowing the lawn the other day on the break we were on. So I don't get to do that here. I get to go into the rink. But in Istanbul, you will be there and on site, and of course I will be at home. Next week I will travel to Linz, and you'll be back in the garage.
It's given me motivation to tidy that out, so thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so the same thing, of course, in this event. Skating skills and jumping skills, you see a little bit under development in the first group, and it'll slowly progress in speed and abilities and technique as the event carries on.
It was a fabulous stat that you showed us or talked about, Ted, in the opening 10 different skating nations within the top 10 placements after the short program, and that real testament to the diversity of what's happening.
Yeah, it was amazing when I took a look at that. I said, I can't believe this, because usually there's a couple Japanese and a couple Koreans, a couple Americans or something like that, with some other countries sprinkled in there, but it is 10 different nations in the top 10 after the short. That is exciting. And we talked about that, as this sport becomes globalized, at least in the juniors, we are seeing so many different flags at these events. You don't see the same power nations there all the time, of course. So it's so nice to see skaters coming from around the globe.
And not just the skaters being represented from different nations, but also coaches that have developed their skaters. And that's something that the fans of the sport maybe don't get to resonate and connect with when they watch the senior events or the Olympic Games, and you see similar faces in the kiss and cry that you would see year upon year at event after event. These coaches that are producing athletes competing here have been more likely to have done that from a very early developmental stage at grassroots.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm from Canada, so hockey is a big sport for us, of course, and you see the NHL, et cetera, but a very, very popular tournament, one of the largest tournaments for television numbers, is the Junior World Hockey Championship, because we get engaged in these young, incredible athletes. And I think that's what we're starting to do here, is engage people in the stories of these young athletes and their coaches and their federations that they develop. And, I don't want to say it doesn't really matter what the level is, more about the fact that they're participating in the sport, they love the sport, and they're progressing in the sport. And so that's always been exciting for me anyways, to be involved in the juniors, because it's a completely different world than the seniors. And I love the seniors as well, and there's no question, but I love seeing the rawness of these young skaters.
And they're the future flagship of the sport. These are the people that will carry the sport forwards, and that's why I suppose we get so excited about promoting them, because they take our sport forward. They are the advert for our amazing sport. And the more we can promote them, the more that can go back to their home nation and hopefully attract more and more numbers to the discipline.
Yeah, and you may not see many of these skaters reach the world level in seniors, but they might become a judge or might become a coach in their nation. So it's important that they get this groundwork so they can continue to spread the sport around the world and continue to be involved. Okay, enough promotion.
In the break. Well, it's such a good point, because
no, it
in
is.
the break between the free dance and this, I got a message from a skater in Japan who I'd worked with previously that wasn't World Championship level skater, but now national level tech spec with a view to being an ISU, an International Skating Union tech spec. And you're right, they go on, once skating's in your blood and in your brain, it's kind of unlikely that you eradicate that from your way of life.
Yeah, no, it's in your system and it never leaves. And sometimes the skaters get disappointed with their careers and they're a little negative when they leave the sport and they're mad at the federation or they're mad at their coach or they're mad at something. And it was unhappy for them perhaps in a period of time, legitimately so maybe. But eventually they come back to it because they remember the pure joy of the sport. And, you know, they put their difficulties in the past and they get involved in some other way, maybe just even as a volunteer. So we take a look at the coaches, you know, and we talked about this, that in juniors, you'll see the coaches talking to and with the skater much more than you will in seniors. You really do not see a lot of dialogue in the top seniors in the world because the skaters know what they're doing. The coaches are watching very carefully, might give a word or two here, or they're really just evaluating the body language, the emotions and all of that. The work has been done. But with the juniors, this is part of the work, is working with the athlete to understand what they're going through and how to make the adjustments.
And these more pivotal probably in their development, these memories, and I think a lot of the skaters that even have gone on to Olympic Games will remember the Junior Grand Prix so vividly.
Yeah, it's become, I don't know, like it's an experience to get on the Junior Grand Prix and to compete for your nation and to skate with skaters from all around the world. You see the big smiles on these young people as they walk around the building and support their teammates. It's a real family. And here we go, the men's free program. First competitor from Australia, Vinceman Chong, 15 years old, silver medalist at the Australian National Championships, 17th after the short program. This is his first Junior Grand Prix assignment. As he just feels the knees, feels the ice as he takes his starting position. And he'll skate the free program to unravel.
Well, the last two elements of the program for Vinceman Chong from Australia, probably the highlight of the program for me. Great split flip and cantilever spread eagle in the choreo sequence, and then the one-handed cartwheel is a difficult exit for the combination spin.
Well, Mark, this young man has great lift off the ice. He just fires up into the air, gets great height. A little bit loose in the air in rotation as we take a look. There's the double axel. Look at that lift on that. Amazing. Up into another one. Gets a free leg back, and then up into a single axle 3-jump combination. Nice start to the program. And here's the triple Lutz a little bit later. Gets good lift, but you can see in the air a little bent forward, so he's not rotating as fast as he can, as he should perhaps, to get all the way around. Here's the look of the triple Salchow, hands above the head. Straighter in the air on that one. And the double loop. Great lift. Work on hands and posture and pointed toes. Those are the small details. What an athlete, no question. And now the refinement of that athlete will take him on a different journey.
Yeah, interesting because he looks like he obviously loves to jump, and as you say, has seemingly a natural spring and buoyancy to his jumps. But then later on in the program, he looked like he enjoyed the showmanship of the cantilever spread that got the crowd to really get behind him.
Yeah, I think that once he got most of the elements done, he sort of loosened up a little bit and enjoyed the performance. And he loves to skate. You can see the smile and the kiss and cry. And this coach, Richard Laidlaw.
And
boy, we
they were
always
here last week as well.
Yeah, we always talk about when you can walk off the ice and be so happy and love that experience, as scary as it might be before it, as joyful as it is after it. That's what keeps you coming back.
Yeah, the spectrum of emotions for a figure skating competition.
No kidding. Well, when you get a little older, like, I don't like that spectrum of emotions. I want to say pretty balanced. Or, you know, like, it's too up and down. But when you're young, you kind of love that thrill, eh?
The roller coaster ride.
Here are the scores for Vinceman. 81.14, first skater out. That's for the free program with a total competition score of 126.26. A good skate, a happy skater. Mission accomplished here in week one. Our next competitor comes from Indonesia, 16-year-old Betrand Zuriell. 43.32 personal best in the free program from last season. Junior champion of Indonesia. A developing skater. You'll see a little bit of a wrap in the air. So some work on that, but some nice body lines throughout this program as well. Experience to be gained here in the free program right now.
Betrand Zuriell completes his free skate. And Ted, I remember last year when he competed, although this wasn't a great skate, this now has a triple salchow included, which wasn't there last year, and a double axel, which was called freely rotated, which it wasn't last year.
Absolutely.
So
He's making progress. He's tall and got long limbs, and that is not a problem. It just takes a little longer to get control, especially as you're growing. But what I wanted to say is this young man feels music. There's no question of that. You can see it. It's in his heart. It's in his soul. But he doesn't yet have the skating skills that allow him to express it to the degree that his heart feels it yet. And that'll come in time as those skills get stronger. Let's take a look here. Watching the air, you can see, and this was a better double axel. At least he had the foot down, and you can see the legs in the air. The free leg is just a little bit loose. It slows. It becomes a larger body mass. It slows the rotation down, and it's difficult. You can see here, hard to get that leg up into position. You know, those spins now, Mark, are so physical. You have to have the flexibility and strength.
it really has cultivated a different type of athlete. You can see it's maybe more challenging for Betrand because he is so tall, and inevitably there will have been that big growth spurt. And now, hopefully, his height will stabilize and he can start to stretch out those limbs and really get into his body and facilitate positions that will get higher levels on the likes of the spins.
Yeah, he'll gain control of those, longer legs and arms as he begins to strengthen. But I love his feeling and his. You can see that he loves to skate and he wants to express himself through movement. And just as the skating skills get a bit stronger, he's going to explore a whole new world and enjoy it that much more. So, good job. Early stage of development, no question. Lots of growth.
And great to see Melody Azri Fatima, his training mate, with him in the kiss and cry alongside his coach as well.
She was delightful yesterday, wasn't she? Such joy in her program.
And you can see from the work that Coach Bong Agus Nugroho is doing in Indonesia how hard they are working to try to put their skating on the map here, and kudos to them all for the effort.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's so wonderful about the juniors is, as we mentioned many times, we're seeing skaters from all over the world and developing skating nations. And we encourage them to continue.
And as I say, there's definite progress. Yes, Betrand is still lower in the standings, but he's added the triple this year. He's obviously devoting so much of his time, energy, and life to advancing his technical skills, and hopefully on the back of this, that'll continue to grow further.
And, as a perfect example, it's the drug of skating, I guess is a bad way to say it, but the sport is so hard that when you achieve something, it's such a wonderful feeling that you go to the next thing and you just keep on going. And Betrand is, now getting the double axel down and going for the triples, and he'll continue on. Let's take a look at the scores. 49.50 for the free program. That is second, of course. And total competition score of 71.77. And that'll put him, at least for the moment, into second place. Well, another skater that's just kind of starting out, just 13 years old, Hoang Huu Nguyen from Vietnam, first Junior Grand Prix event in International. And you watch where the skater holds his arms really well and a nice straight back. There'll be some challenges along the way. He'll skate to legendary.
Congratulations to Hoang Huu Nguyen from Vietnam, coming here still obviously early in his development for his figure skating education and relishing with the smile on his face the opportunities to be here.
I love this because you want to talk about courage. That young man in skating with the other skaters that are powerful and fast and all this stuff as we watch him go through the single axles, the top of the program, comes out there, keeps his arms, look at his arms, they're nice and steady and strong. The back is pretty strong as well, good core strength, just not enough experience yet. There's the double Saukow, it just slips off the front of the blade. But the determination and courage and the love of the sport to put yourself amongst the lions and to skate and do the best that you can at that moment and not be affected by the environment, really. I mean, maybe he was a little bit nervous, but he was determined. And this, I admire so much, just as much as the one who will win. This is pure
completely
passion.
agree.
Yeah, love it. That's what I love the juniors. You know, and you know that these skates will get better if they were given more time and more expertise and more off ice, all the things that they need to progress, they'll get stronger.
And you know, everybody started, the Jacob Sanchez and Francois Pitot, who will compete later.
Yeah.
Everybody started somewhere.
Absolutely. Oh boy. Thinking back in my skating, I'm going, I remember how difficult it felt. It probably looked even more difficult watching me. So, but you know, it's a difficult sport, and you get attached to it because you don't know how it kind of all works until you begin to figure it out. And when you do, you think that's a thrill. That's an absolute thrill, and that's why people love doing this sport. So, yeah, great job.
And you know, the coach there, Ansel Van Tonder, he's skated on holiday nice. He's got lots of experience, and congratulations too to him and giving that on to this next generation and hopefully inspiring a love that he must have had as a performer skating for years now into a new generation of skaters as well.
Yeah, and putting things into perspective for this young man, keeping him balanced, and saying, it's okay, this is a good start. Now let's get back. We can do some work and improve some skills. See, he just said, sit up straight, please. Yeah. Good. This is all part of the journey for the skaters and for the coaches. Yeah.
And the thing now for Hoang Huu is to then sit back now after this. He's got so many emotions, I'm sure, coursing through his brain space, but to be able to sit back now and watch the other groups and take some almost videographic memory to store in his mind for when he returns to training rink to inspire him every day.
Oh, he's going to learn as much, or he's going to learn more from watching the skaters than any lesson can give, because you start to look and you go, okay, maybe I could do that, and I'll try this, and you start to teach yourself to a little degree, and guided by the coach.
Because Yeah.
Scores 27.19. And that's third, of course, in the free program with a total competition score of 36.98. And that'll put Hoang Huu Nguyen of Vietnam currently in the third place.
Next to skate, representing the Republic of South Africa.
Our next competitor comes from the Republic of South Africa, 16-year-old Cody Kock, 18th after the short program. And he'll skate free to Got It In You.
This choreo sequence for Cody Kock, a skater who's competed here last week at the Asian Open Trophy, who's had a back-a-buddy fundraiser to support his training and getting here. Now at the end of a long 2 weeks and a smile on his face.
Wow, what an athlete. You know, he's got great strength. He just springs off the ice. You know, he doesn't yet have quite a sense of controlling the body in the air and around, but he has the athletic ability, and as time goes on, he's going to figure out the small details. Here's the look at the double axel. Gets it, gets free leg back, up into the second one, gets all the way around, gets free leg back, then comes around the circle, gets single axel done. So that's really good work there. Here's triple Salchow, or triple Tolu, pardon me, and does get around it. It's on the quarter, Milani, but has to do a 3-turn. Good lift on that flying camel. He's a little bit of hip flexibility here. But this is another stage of development. He's got the strength. He's had a little bit more experience, perhaps, a little bit more power. And still, it's not under control yet. So we've seen a little bit of progression in this group as we take a look at the triple Salchow, and gets all the way around, but too far forward, of course, and couldn't keep his balance. And then a little bit later, near the end of the program, another triple toe loop does get all the way around into a double toe. So that's really good at the end of the program. And beautiful power here.
Gorgeous.
Right up into a double flip. So he's got some nice skills. And he has the power, the strength. Sometimes the skaters at that stage use strength instead of technique. And when you combine the two, that is when everything will come together. It's got the strength. Just needs a little bit more work on the technique.
Yes, somewhat of a rough diamond. The Ina Barra, the splits, the spread eagle, a good range of flexibility with which to work, some strength, but just, as you say, Ted, more awareness and time. But what's amazing now is just the joy that seems to be the fact that he's completed now 2 competitions back-to-back, and I think a much bigger score to come here than there was at the Asian Open Trophy last week.
I've seen, and I know you've seen, skaters come off the ice, sit in the kiss and cry, and you wonder, this skater actually really doesn't want to be here. But looking at this young man, he wants to be here. He loves to be here. And that's what you want to see in the juniors. That's, well, really in any category. Let's take a look at the, let's take a look at the scores for Cody. 78.09. That's second in the free program. He's pretty happy with that. Total competition score of 116.39. That puts Cody currently into second place. And there's a lot of joy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Love it.
It's just brilliant.
That right there is what the Junior Grand Prix is about. Next competitor comes from India, 16-year-old Manjesh Tiwari. 20th after the short program, coached also by Richard Laidlaw.
India's Manjesh Tiwari completes his free skate, another skater that competed here last week, and just a fascinating story, Ted, to give context for, although that was a rough skate, to give context for the amazing performance here. His brother, Rajkumar Tiwari, taught himself via YouTube and competed in the Special Olympics in 2013. Manjesh has done so well to get a double axel like that.
Great lift.
Training in a rink where skating just isn't done.
And look at the boots. They're taped for support. Oh, interesting. And beautiful camel spin there into the sit. Posture is the big thing here. If you were going to work on one thing, it would be straightening the back, keeping the head up, because the body alignment is so important for everything you do, whether it's spin or jumps. And his head is down quite a bit, and that's an area that I would be working on. He's athletic. He gets great lift on the takeoffs. That's not a problem. Triple sack a little bit later in the program. Gets all the way around. Just can't punch that free leg back. And had his back been straight, the weight would have been more over the skating foot. So, you know, just some areas in there, just keeping the body alignment, you know, perfect or as close as you can to perfect, it's going to make this much easier.
And I suppose it's that, knowing what his brother did, teaching himself via YouTube, you wonder if then just there's been a lot of self-tuition perhaps from Manjesh as well, and it's been now the job of Coach Richard to retrain some habits that have been formed unknowingly. Very
interesting story, and I've covered a lot of Indian skaters over the years. Some ones that don't actually get ice. They might get ice every 2 months, but they're roller skaters, and they convert into figure skaters when they can get ice. So again, it's just a wonderful story of the passion of skating, whether it's roller skating or figure skating. This young man is here in Junior Grand Prix, learning, getting some coaching, watching the other skaters, getting inspired. 52.65 for the free program. That's third. Total competition score, 74.58. And that'll put him third overall for the moment. Great job by Richard Laylaw there, giving him support, helping guide him through the emotions and through the actions of competing.
The following skaters will now take the ice for a 6-minute warm-up. From Kazakhstan, Artur Smagulov.
You still there, Mark? Or are you falling asleep on me?
From Hong Kong.
No, okay, I'm just processing just the interaction between the skaters and the coach, and it's so much more than, well, not always the case that it's so much more as we look at the starting order now for the next group. Sometimes it's the case that it's so much more than just the tutor of figure skating. It's a life coach sometimes as well.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, if you know, good coaches are, well, they're not licensed psychologists, but they do understand the mind of a skater, and so you have to work with that. And you know, quite often parents, you know, who really want the best for their kids, but you know, they think it might look easy. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You're going, well, you haven't really skated. You don't really know how hard that is, and you have to let these young people process this with guidelines, with people that they can trust to give them the guidance through the emotional pathway and the physical development and all of that. It's not simple. It's complicated.
Yeah, and especially I think at an event. So for the skaters that are watching now, obviously as we see skaters stepping up in this double axel, there's technical work that could be done, but at this stage you're not going to change, say, the triple sacco landing, or you're not going to make massive developments and changes. You're now there as coach to emotionally steer them through delivering what they do in the training rink as best as possible under performance, and that's, like you say, it's the remit more of a psychologist and counselor than it is of teacher of physical movement.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's your job here then, to take sort of stock of, well, what do I need to work with them next on, so you gain their confidence. And you'll see the skaters here have a significantly more skill than the first group.
And I think scores pretty close as well again for this group. If we look back at the results of the short program, the skaters that we can see now have again the opportunity for lots of movement within the rankings.
Nice triple toe loop there. You can now see the body a little bit more coordinated with these athletes. The posture will be better. The arms and legs will be under more control because they've had, and the skating skills will be stronger as well. So you'll start to see more, I don't want to say, well, better skating. No, look at their triple X, triple toe. So they are in this group because they made significant mistakes in the short program. And they're going to want to redeem themselves.
Exactly that, and especially for the likes of Tsudoi Suto, who finds himself in 12th place, he's going to want to be moving up. Down there. It's difficult because for me, I loved watching the Vietnamese skater Hoang Huu Nguyen, who's holding the rest of the skaters up because of the story that's behind it. He came with, I assume, little expectations in terms of scoring and result, but then you look at Tsudoi Suto, who has obviously great quality in his skating, but now his expectations will be of a much higher result, and that's where it's a shame in a way, because then that athlete will have a disappointing frame of perspective for the result as opposed to the less experienced ones.
Yeah, I mean, the first group is more about participation here in learning and gaining experience. Now we start to get in the groups where their personal expectations, perhaps coach expectations, maybe even family expectations are there, and how do they cope with that? That's a coach's job to sort of keep them focused on what they can control. And we talk about that in our podcast, Coach's Life. It's so interesting. We could do 3 of those with all the things.
Oh gosh, endless.
Yeah, it is.
And we see at the side of the rink here, in Bangkok, skating coaches who are renowned as producing some of the very best in the world, and it just shows that they're here now in the second from bottom group of athletes in this first Junior Grand Prix of the series, showcasing the fact that they're willing to commit to athletes of all standards because they've been at the Olympic Games with the best.
A really good point. Brian Orser, of course, Olympic silver medalist, a world champion in the 80s, Tracy Wilson as well, are here with their juniors, and I have not seen them very often on the Junior Grand Prix because they're mostly on the Senior Grand Prix with their top athletes, but they're here helping guide the next generation of skaters, and they're very, very conscious of how important it is to provide that type of support and stable environment with these young skaters. And it was wonderful speaking with them. They had been on the Junior Grand Prix for quite a while, and it's sort of a new environment. It's not all fancy and flashy like you might have in the Senior Grand Prix, but they're really enjoying it. And it's great that they have the dedication to come here with their junior athletes.
Yeah, and also good to see that there's not coming from a place of ego and I'm only going to work with the best of the best. They are invested in the development of skating.
That's right. All these coaches are. Yeah, absolutely. You can see here triple axel perhaps. There it is.
Always fascinates me how the Japanese athletes will utilize every second of a warm-up. They won't we've seen Sato already perform a clean triple axel. That's not now done and in the bag and left. It's, we'll do another and we'll do another, and we'll really utilize every moment of ice time.
Yeah.
Warm-up has ended. Please leave the ice.
Okay, here we go. Group number 2 in the men's free program final event in week 1 of the Junior Grand Prix. 6 more weeks to come, Mark. We'll see a lot of skating over the next little while, and I don't mind that at all.
Great to see skaters like Artur now on the ice. We've seen him last year, getting the chance to see him again now, see the developments that have been made.
From Kazakhstan, 16-year-old Artur Smagulov, 13th after the short program, an 87.59, earning that last season on the Junior Grand Prix for the free program. And he'll skate to View of Silence by Joe Hisashi.
Kazakhstan's Artur Smagulov. And I remember last year at the Baltic Cup in Poland, this skater competed with triple salchow and triple toe. 12 months later, he opens the program with triple axel Euler, triple salchow. Remarkable technical enhancement and improvement.
Yeah, and pretty good spinner as well. And so you can see the stage of development he's in, discovering the triple axel this season, and some nice spins. Here's a look at the triple axel. Look at the lift. Euler, triple salchow, hands above the head. Really nice. 13 points on that one element. There's the triple Lutz, gets all the way around. And once again, you're going to see some work could be done on posture and arms and hands and those small details that will turn him from a junior into a senior eventually. Nice patience on.
Love that.
Yeah, that was cool.
And
Go
you
ahead.
could see in the back outside edge going into the triple toe there. I noticed it on the right back outside edge before the toe and then again before the triple flip. A very Nathan Chen style body alignment, and then I see that he's been working in the summer with Rafael Aratunian, the same coach, and you can really see that technique instilled in Artur, and probably one of the reasons behind the big improvements that he's made with the jumps.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these top coaches really understand the biomechanics of these elements, and then you've got to work the body into the mind will go muscle it, but you have to train the mind to use the technique and the timing, and that will be 90% of the energy that's required. It's more simplistic. When you do it, you go, well, that was easy. So it usually comes through timing and coordination. And when it's difficult, it's because you're tired and you're throwing your body in the air and hoping for the best. That was me for my career. Go fast, throw the body in the air, and let's cross our fingers.
Hope for the best.
Great job.
So only 16 years old, so many more seasons potentially ahead for Artur on the junior circuit, but I think that he'll be having an eye on seniors as well over the coming seasons. Hoping to follow on the success of Denis Tan and Tursunbayeva as well from Kazakhstan.
Exactly. 87.59 is his personal best. I think he's going to beat that score here with that improvement, especially with 13.6 points on the first element. It's worth a lot. You know, it's worth the risk when you do it.
When it pays off.
Yeah.
He landed the triple axel last week here at the Asian Open, but I think got many more triples. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triples. I mean, that's amazing, that full array of triples, and yet just last year he was attempting just loop, salchow, and toe, and that's a big jump in 1 year.
When you're an athlete, and he is, and then when you're taught the technique, the efficiency of good technique, things can move along quite quickly. Now that he has a triple axel, the quads are not far away on, well, maybe a year or two from some of the other jumps. But he's got good rotation position in the air. He's straight and strong. He's got the hands, beautiful body alignment in the air, so he'll rotate fast. And then it's how quickly you can get into that rotation and how much time you spend in the air.
And on his social media, there's pictures of him training with Team RAF, and then he'll be exposed to the likes of Ilya Malinin, the quad god. So I'm sure that changes his mindset as to what's possible. And you are a product of the environment so often.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to trust the words. You can trust your eyes by watching.
Yeah. It's often the case, isn't it, with these elite environments? It's the coaches won't be demonstrating, but if they have a school of skating which has so many elite athletes, then success breeds success, and they just have to look around.
Absolutely. This is taking a little bit longer because there were 7 elements under review. There were 2 spins and 4. Oh wow! All 4 spins were under review.
The scores, please.
Let's take a look at the scores for Artur.
Artur Smagulov
Free program is a 105.50, so that's a pretty good score. He's happy with that. That's first in the free with a total competition score of 160.42. Nicely done. Mission accomplished here in second competition here in Bangkok in as many weeks.
Next to skate, representing Hong Kong.
Our next competitor comes from Hong Kong, 15-year-old Jarvis Ho. First junior Grand Prix season, took the silver medal at the Thailand Open. And we'll skate the free program to Big Fish in Begonia.
Just spot the top left-hand corner of this screen for Jarvis Ho from Hong Kong. You'll see some great boxes, and that indicating just base grade of execution from the judges. And we can see that that's been the case, Ted, for so many of the elements. Just satisfactorily done, not positive grade of execution, no major bullet points, not many reductions on the errors for the jumps as well. So just in a good place with where he's at.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. At the stage of development here, we'll look at this. He's an athlete, no question of that. We can see good height on the jump and pretty straight and strong in the air, but unrefined with the hands and the feet and the small details and the posture. Those little things are going to make this, you know, really fine junior into a senior skater. It'll take some time. That doesn't happen overnight, no matter what you say. You know, it takes training.
Yeah.
But from an athletic perspective and mechanics of the takeoff of the jump, it's good and solid, and you saw that throughout the program. Pretty consistent. As we take a look at the list of jumps, there's the triple toe, double axel, get around, double axel. So not a lot of flow through the whole thing, but the basics of it, rotation, that triple lutz was sort of inside, outside, bent forward, so it really didn't have good technique to it, but he muscled it and got through it.
And I think probably the weakest elements for Jarvis, definitely the spins. So it was red boxes for the spins. That was the same in the short program. He lost his change camel spin in the short, not able to establish the sufficient height of the free leg, I think, in the camel. And that, as you, thank you for showcasing that. The camel
welcome.
spin, not the same stretch that we'll see from some others.
No, and, you know, he's, as I said, unrefined yet. I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just in an analytical way that he's strong, he's powerful, he does the jumps, he's got good technique in that area, but the posture and the detail of how you hold your hands, how you hold your head, how all those things polish you from a junior to a senior. And if you think that's easy, no. That's just as hard as a jump, or harder. It takes years to learn.
And almost more of a challenge now to devote the time to that, because I think as a generalization, boys just want to jump. One triple axel, one quad.
Exactly. Let's take a look at the scores for Jarvis Ho. 102.37. Happy with that. That's second in the free program. Total competition score 150.03. And that'll put him currently into second place. He wanted to climb that one more spot. That's okay. Great experience gain. Good skate. All positive.
Next to skate, representing Canada, Rio Morita.
Rio, 18 years old. You're going to see a quad attempt here, quad sow and triple axles. He can really lift himself up in the air and rotate quickly. Coached by Tracy Wilson, 97.82 personal best last season. He'll skate the free program to Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin.
Well, Canada's Rio Morita will go down as the first skater to successfully land a quadruple jump on this year's Junior Grand Prix Series.
Yeah, and it was interesting because Rio had to sort of fight through those landings. He jumped really well, took off well, a little bit leaning in the air here and there, and had to pull those free leg back and stand straight and strong just to hang on to the landings. As we take a look, there's the quad sow, maybe a touchdown with the free foot, but he has, let's see, 16, 20 points in the first three elements. Here's the triple axel, watch the lift way up into the air, and nice, up into the double toe loop. That was well done. The second triple axel here, let's slow this down, see what happens. Good lift in the air, a little bit on the lean, touchdown with the free foot again, and he's on lean, slips off the edge. Triple flip a little bit later.
Sneaky tap downs.
There, he's a little too far forward, but does an Euler into a double Sacco, so sort of saving some points there. And there's the triple Lutz, triple toe loop. Good fight through that again. A little bit stiff on the landing. There's a triple flip again, a little bit forward. So the landing qualities, the GOEs on that are going to be in the minuses. But, and then there's that, the camel spin that's always, you know, the dread of the boys.
Nemesis of the men.
Yeah, yeah. But overall, that was a good skate for Rio. He was not really that happy with the short program, but some good progress made here. He's made really tremendous improvement in the past season. He wants to show not only the jumps, but the connection to the music as well, and that's still under construction, and that will continue to take time. As we see Tracy Wilson, Olympic bronze medalist in ice dance, with partner Robert Call, and coaching partner Brian Orser at the Toronto Cricket Club, also the coach of Jason Brown. So Tracy has a tremendous amount of experience, and what's most interesting about her is her understanding of the human being and that person is. So she not only teaches the physical part of skating, but she asks a lot of questions, as you can see her doing, and getting feedback from her athlete. Smart. 120.07, that is first in the free program, with a total competition score of 171.89, and that'll put Rio Morita of Canada currently in the first place.
Next to skate, representing Japan.
Our next competitor comes from Japan, 16-year-old Tsudoi Suto. Second Junior Grand Prix season, 6th in Riga, 13th in Enya last season. Really good skater, didn't have a great short program. His personal best in the free was 113.66. He might be able to achieve or beat that here. He's going to need to put together a pretty good program. We saw a pretty good warm-up. Can he convert that into the competition? Skating to piano concerto, number 2.
Well, Tsudoi Suto came to Bangkok with, I'm sure, hopes and expectations of a medal, and he's certainly capable, but unfortunately, his talent and ability not able to be showcased with the free skate here.
Yeah, interesting. This is a very good skater. There's no question of that. Very good skater. And he looks like he's lost his way a little bit. That doesn't mean a bad thing when it comes to, you can see pop the triple axel into a single or whatever. And there's the second one, he sort of just was going to go for the triple, then opens up to the double, then takes the fall. Now he's getting depressed a little bit in the program, does the triple lutz, barely hangs on here. And for some reason, it looks like he's muscling everything as opposed to just taking his time. The triple loop was beautiful, up into the double axel. You can see how good he is, but he just got sloppy and just didn't take care of the details. And looks like he's just lost his rhythm and timing at this point. It's early in the season. We'll see that certainly get better, no question.
And it shows the mental aspect of the sport, doesn't it?
Oh,
because
yeah.
we saw 2 triple axels in warm-up, easy peasy.
And, you know, you go through this different ride, the wave of positivity when, oh, I got this, I can figure this out. Then all of a sudden things don't go well, and then you get lost. Well, why isn't it going well? And then you try harder, but it gets worse. And then someone comes and organizes you again back to technique. And then you get back on the wave again and ride that. So he is, you know, lost a little bit at this point. But I'm most certain he'll get this back. He's a good skater. He's in good hands. He's from a skating nation.
You assume the Japanese Skating Federation obviously recognized the massive potential. He was 13th in Enya last year, so he's obviously not yet been able to showcase internationally what he's capable of, but Japanese Skating Federation, who have an abundance of brilliant male skaters to choose from, know what we can see too, that he's got the talent to be a medalist on the circuit.
Yeah, no question. Let's take a look at the free program scores.
Tsudoi Suto from Japan has earned the free skate
106.95. That's second in the free program with a total competition score of 165.24. That'll put Tsudoi Suto from Japan currently into second place. And there is a look at the top 5 on the leaderboard. One more to go in group number 2 for the ice resurfacing. And our next competitor comes from Malaysia, Zeng Fang, 18 years old, 3rd Junior Grand Prix season, 16th after the short program. An 85.62 personal best. That was last season on the ISU Junior Grand Prix. He'll skate to If I Knew, Runaway Baby, and Perm by Bruno Mars.
Well, the lights went on in the venue.
I know. I thought, I'm going, wait a minute, is Zamboni coming out now?
Is that allowed?
It's not allowed. I'm sure that they're concerned about how did that happen during this skate. But it was just at the end, so I don't think it affected him too much.
Think it's almost like Zeng Fang, he can take it. He's such a performer, and he lists dancing as one of his hobbies, and he absolutely brought it with his dance ability.
I think he might have turned those lights on himself. I mean, he enjoyed.
Yes.
It was perfect music for that. Here's a look at the triple loop off the top of the program, double toe loop. Coming down the ice, good momentum into the triple toe loop, but over-rotates with the upper body and has to flip out. Unfortunately, takes a fall. But watch all this work here. He's into the program, low in the knees, and use the upper body, soft knees, nice turns, and yeah. He's got it going. Here is the double axe off the end of the edge. Euler, double flip, nice.
Not everybody can move to Bruno Mars on the ice. He does it really well.
Yeah, you can see it's in him. You know, he loves to perform, and that's so nice to have that, because your teacher isn't going, okay, I want you to try harder in the performance. You know, it is in you, and then they just have to shape the moves that you're going to do. But for skaters who, you know, a little shy and whatnot, oh, it's such a struggle for coaches, because you can't bring the best out of them. Sometimes you have to drag it out of their soul. No, it's true, because I remember I was like so shy, and I'm going, oh, I'm going to look stupid doing it. I probably did look stupid doing it, but you know, they eventually opened me up and you know, and brought out what I wanted to try to do. So
yeah. Whereas I think for Zeng Fang, he has a career as a performer.
Oh yeah,
no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's 18, so he'll be looking to move to the senior ranks next year. He'll be looking to try and get the minimum technical element score for continents, perhaps. So that'll be on his radar. Technical element score for 4 continents for seniors is 46 in the free skate, so a couple more triples necessary.
Yeah, he's going to have to make some improvements in that area. Well, let's take a look at the free program scores. 90.78, that is 5th for Zeng Fang. 138.22, that will put him at the moment, at least, overall, into 5th place. And there is a look at the standings so far. Rio Morita of Canada is in first, 171.89. 12 skaters yet to come. And there are the standings. So, Mark, we're going to take a break during the ice resurfacing, our final ice resurfacing of week 1 on the Junior Grand Prix. What is on the menu for the videos?
Well, you definitely do not want to miss this. So it's an excerpt from Our Angels titled, it's Sara Conte and Niccolo Macci, the first Italian pair team to medal at the World Championships. So an insight into their careers. And then a promo for the World Ice Skating Day, which was so successful in its inauguration last year. And finally, the Mic'd Up series returns with Philippa Tyler-Green, who was on the Junior Grand Prix circuit with her students last year.
Well, enjoy, and we'll be back right after this.
We always dedicate our goals, achieved our success to our angels. The favorite angel of Sarah is the father that passed away during the COVID, and he passed away right before we started to have small success. It was difficult, so we talked about it because the tension was so high. So we talked and we decided to just skate precise, skate clean, not go like so fast, just take every element home. finished, I watched her and I said, we made it. And then I told her, look around, everybody's standing. And she turned around and she was amazed because she saw all the crowd standing for our performance, and that's the best feeling that we could have. The feeling was, oh my God, I'm done, finally. The tension is over, thank you. When I saw 134, I was like, oh, she's the best. Then I saw first, then I'm like, if I'm first, I'm third. If I'm first right now, 2 couples to go, then we have bronze medal. Like boom. And then we were like, yeah! It's a dream coming true, huh? Nobody ever won a world medal for Italy. Like in 100 editions of Worlds, no one in the pair skating won a medal at World Championships. That's a great season, I think the best season that anyone can have. Coming from nothing, because we came from a 7th place in Europeans last year. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible for us. We make the history for a free time. And just happy. It's really incredible.
Have fight today was tough. To third place was tough. So we knew that every mistake could make us go 4th, so lose the medal. So we fight it and we're happy about it. Our angels came here to Japan to watch us and to put like 1, 3, 4, and then 3rd.
Viva l'Italia!
We are here to celebrate the first inaugural World Ice Skating Day. And World Ice Skating Day is a single day specifically to celebrate the fun and the joy of ice skating across the globe. Lots of fun, lots of smiles, and a great way to celebrate this first day of World Ice Skating.
You're here, you're at your first Junior Grand Prix, so happy. And what's the main thing? Enjoy it. Enjoy it, yeah. All you got to do, okay? You've got nothing to prove. Yeah. All right? You were dreaming of this last year, okay? And now you're here, so just go out and enjoy every single moment you're out there, okay? Yes. Yeah? You've worked so hard, so keep moving, yeah? Just try and keep moving. Just enjoy every single moment you're out there. Oh! Do this. Bye. Don't rush when you're out there, okay? Everything we've done in practice, that's all you've got to do. This is the best part. You just need to, like I keep saying, enjoy it, okay? Lucky mascot. Please come to every competition. Jump, 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 jump. Go for it. Just make sure, like we were talking about this morning on practice, just that bit after the pull through with the leg extension, make sure you bring your legs up at the same time, okay? Yeah? And don't rush, yeah? Twizzles. Twizzles, yeah. How you feeling? Good. Perfect, okay? If you skate like that, okay? Just enjoy it. Do you want to just do one more thing? We've got time. Do whatever you feel you need to. Amazing, okay? How many times will you run through this program? Yeah. Okay. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Okay, you've worked so hard, like I keep saying, okay? You've done the program 1,000 times. Well, feels like 1,000 times, okay? Don't hurt yourself now. Here, I've got your guards. Oh, we forgot Hedwig. You did it. Karen, all that hard work's paid off, hasn't it? Whatever happens, I couldn't have asked any more from you guys, okay? Hey everyone! Diane, Candy, hello. Matthew, Daniel, Phoebe. Oh my God! Why are you getting upset? Look at that! Oh, you're making me cry. See, it's Hedwig. I can't believe it. So happy. And that wasn't your normal either. Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. You just don't know how much I am. They're crazy.
Welcome back, everyone, to Bangkok, Thailand, and this is how they do the ice resurfacing with a little nightclub action. The lights and the fans and dancing, and pretty amazing. Are you with me, Mark?
Absolutely, and I think Zeng Fang has kind of paved the way for the disco with this performance, and now it continues.
I was afraid to use the word disco because it's so 70s, which is what I am. So I thought nightclub might be more appropriate, but I don't know. But it's a lot of fun.
Either way, I'm with you on that. Disco time.
It's a lot of fun. You know, they've done just a wonderful, wonderful job here. And you know, on our last ice break here, I really want to thank the Skating Federation of Thailand for the hospitality and for their leadership in, you know, bringing this event here. Wasn't easy, and of course it is a center of excellence, and they've done a spectacular job. They have so many volunteers, and they knew that all of us who are coming to a new part of the world we hadn't been in, and they made sure that we felt comfortable and provided a wonderful environment for the athletes to compete in. and an experience that you really don't see on the Junior Grand Prix. And the audience has been full, you know, for all 3 days, as much as this building can take. Not a lot of seating here, but they're full and they're having fun. So congratulations to the Thailand Federation for all they have achieved here. We look for more, and we're impressed with your skaters as well. They've got great basic skills, and Mark, you were mentioning, you know, your impression on that as well throughout the week.
Yeah, and I think it's just so exciting. And as I talked about yesterday, we've seen skating nations emerge, and everybody has to start somewhere. And the obvious enthusiasm from the Thai Figure Skating Association is really exciting for the future. Their willingness to take on board the massive workload that it is to provide an event of this magnitude showcases that they're eager and hungry to make skating a success in this nation.
And like any organization, whether it's a nonprofit or business, it takes leadership, and the leadership has to be determined and have to provide the environment that everyone wants to work with and for them. And they've done that here in Thailand. They've got great leadership with vision and commitment, and an event like this does not happen without that leadership and outstanding work. And I'm sure much more to come in the future. So it's been a great pleasure to be here. I know you've missed it, Mark, but you'll be in Istanbul, and I won't, and I'm going to be jealous. That's the city I'd like to go to.
Well, yeah, I'm going to hopefully get to see some of the city. But I love what you'd mentioned, Ted, also about the sustainability of this venue. I think that's really impressive, both from the ISU and the association here.
It's true. You know, Suwana, who's on the ISU Council, is a leader of the sustainability within the ISU, and here, and this, you know, like all the rubber matting around is made from tires, and, you know, just this practicality of how this facility's been put together. You know, the footprint on the environment is, you know, almost zero, and so they have done a spectacular job in so many different areas, and of course our planet so desperately needs it as we watch the weather patterns change. And
it was interesting on with the invite or the announcement of the event. I noticed that there was acknowledgement of that to the athletes and the coaches to be mindful of their sustainability. And I think, you know, kudos to the ISU. The ISU has a vision. There's a document on the ISU website for their vision for 2030, and they are mindful of the planet as well.
Yeah, and, you know, I also want to do a shout out. I know this sounds self-serving, not to me, to the ISU, but please understand for the viewers, I'm saying this because I've been involved with the ISU for a long time, but you know, I live in Vancouver, I work for other people, but I really applaud the effort that they have made to develop this Junior Grand Prix and to provide it to the world, because it has really created something special, I believe anyways, for developing skaters and developing nations. And that stream that we produce, they pay for it. The viewer doesn't pay for it. The skater doesn't pay for it. It is the ISU that's paid for this, so that the world can see the juniors. And that is a huge commitment, both financially and with human resources. And you know, anybody who can, you know, feel that they would like to thank the ISU, and I'm not asking you to do that. Do what you want. It's fine. But I know, because I've been involved in this from the very beginning, is that took a big commitment, and it took trust, and it took a little bit of risk. But I think it's paid off in the development of the sport around the world, and particularly for the juniors. So congratulations to all those in the ISU that have helped support this initiative.
And that allows these skaters the opportunity to showcase their hard work. And we see Michael J on the screen, and fascinating skater. He's going to be at the UC of Berkeley when he returns from Bangkok. He's missing the first week as a freshman to be here, and just he's had such an up and down season already. He's showcasing some massive scores and then some less than stellar performances, so he'll open the group.
There's a look at young Grayson Long from Canada. And there's Casper Johansson from Sweden. He's an interesting skater. Beautiful, powerful ice coverage, and quite a tall skater. And when it hits everything, it's beautiful.
Good ice coverage there through the three-jump combo, the triple flip, Euler triple sal.
And now we go back to sort of quiet during the warm up because there was the nightclub disco, and all of a sudden back to the competition, right?
Things get serious now.
Yeah, exactly. But that's kind of very cool because I think that our sport is pretty demanding on the audience to sit through a lot of silence. Of course, they enjoy the skating, no question, but what happens in between? And I think they've done a great job here to provide entertainment through music and through some lights.
Mm. And I think, for the skaters, they're conscious of the implications of their results here. And so this pressure and sometimes high stress. So then to alleviate that and lighten the mood is good.
That's true. I saw all the coaches and the skaters sort of dancing to the music, and it helps with the environment. It really does. And so that's great. And you can feel in these last two groups, it's hard when you're not there, but tensions might not be the right word, but the anticipation and the desire, because these are pretty good skaters and they all want to position themselves to get another Junior Grand Prix from their federation, perhaps make the top 3 to get the points so that you can possibly earn the way to the Junior Grand Prix final in Beijing in early December, or qualify, yourself for the possibility of the Junior World Championships, represent your country. So at this stage of the competition, there's more at stake and a little bit more pressure and more difficulty for these skaters.
Yeah, for sure. And I suppose, you've just been praising, and rightly so, what the ISU has done with the streaming service and opening up the Junior Grand Prix for us all to enjoy and watch. But I suppose it's a blessing and a curse for some of the skaters because they're then mindful that families, friends can and will be watching at home. So
you can't hide and say, "Well, I skated pretty well," because nobody saw it, right? So, here it's for everyone to see. But in some ways, it's good too because you have to handle that pressure when your family are in the building or your friends are in the building. So best you deal with it now.
I'm amused that Manolo, one of the production team, is in the stands there, getting the audience excited. Mm-hmm. He's always want to motivate the masses.
Are you going to be on the ice from now until the beginning of Linz? I imagine you're going back to work.
Well, I am being very indulgent. It's the school summer holidays here in the UK, so I'm going to be enjoying some family time in between the events and prepping, to be honest, Ted, because as I feel such a responsibility to just check up and tune in with the athletes and the coaches, and that's where I would say, please do get in touch and let us know. I'm constantly trying to reach out to the skaters and the coaches just to see if there's anything they want to share. So
you can send any information to Mark or to myself, I guess, on Instagram, or what do you use, Mark?
Yeah, just on Instagram or any of the social media platforms, or indeed also we've got a wonderful team at the ISU, the social media team. They're brilliant as well, and they can send information our way. But we are here to represent the skaters and the coaches. So every night I get my notes out and my sheets and sheets of paper. That's talking about sustainability. That's where I'm not so
And
good.
those skaters that are watching this, and I'm sure there are many that are going to be on the Junior Grand Prix over the next number of weeks, and there's something about your training or your skating or your life that you want us to know and even mention, then please send that information to us. We're happy to tell the audience who you are as a person and in your life, not just about the sport of skating. So, please send us that information. We'd love to have it and love to help you shine on the big stage of the Junior Grand Prix. Yeah. Here we go. Group number 3.
Mari Malama, the coach, she is of the next student. She's been brilliant. She's given us loads of intel. We don't have enough time to tell you all about how wonderful Michael is.
Well, you are their intel director because I don't get that information, but you're doing a great job, so I'm happy with that.
I'll take that mantle.
Yeah. Here we go. Our first competitor in group number 3 from the United States of America, Michael Zizi, 18 years old, 34th last year at the Junior World Championships. Wants to have a better season, no question. 131.97 personal best last season in Gdansk.
Gorgeous finished position, and this is a program from Planet Ocean, a story of evolution, being born in the ocean and wanting to fly. And Michael Z providing a better free skate than this short program.
That was amazing, Ina Bauer, at the end of the program. I wasn't recording it at the time, and I'm just admiring it. Then my brain went, "Record it, you idiot!" and I did. I got the final spin. But interesting opening to the program with the triple axel, the double axel, then the triple axel, double axel, then the triple axel. There's a lot of axles. Here we take a look at the first double axel. And here comes the triple axel in just a second. I wanted to show that 1 foot work right after. And here is the triple axel. Watch the arms of the free leg go back and then snap up into forward. Nice and straight position. Beautiful in the air. And then into the double.
Much better than last year.
Yes, much better than last year.
Slow.
And here's the second one. We'll take a look. I'll slow this down. Watch again. The arms and the free leg back. Snaps forward in the direction of travel. And then into a twizzle. Yeah, really nicely done. That was a little bit of a bailout of the double toe. Triple flip hanging onto the landing, right into the spread eagle. Just to cover that up a little bit.
And it shows the kind of season he's had. He fell in the loop in warm-up, and when I saw him going into it, I thought, I wonder if that's on his brain as he went into that. Oh, the tail end of the Ina Bauer.
Yeah. Beautiful spin position there in the back. Sit spin. Great flexibility and strength. And keeps the speed throughout. That's nice. That change combination, the flying change combination spin with a level 4 right into that final pose. Beautiful. This is a really, really classy skater.
And he's such an all-rounded athlete. He's going to the UC of Berkeley on his return. He's choosing to miss his freshman week to be here, and his coach has just said how incredibly proud she is of him in managing to maintain his studies at such a high level, as well as be an international athlete.
And so she should be. That's incredible.
Mari Malama, who doubled up both as coach and choreographer. She choreographed for him last year, and that's what connected the two, and now working as both coach and choreographer and sending signals home.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's take a look. Free program scores for Michael, 121.84. Great score. That's first, of course. Not a lot of, not only points for good jumps and spins, but also overall for the program component. 181.06 for Michael. That'll put him into first place overall. And there is a look at the leaderboard, 10 points ahead of Rio. See how that will take him over the next number of skaters yet to come. Our next competitor comes from Israel, Tamir Kuperman, 15 years old, 97.57 personal best in the free program from last season. And you'll see him skate to the Phantom of the Opera.
Another skater demonstrating really vast improvement year on year. And sometimes a risk to take a piece of music that's so commonly used, but Tamir Kuperman from Israel looked so comfortable interpreting Phantom of the Opera for his free skate.
I really like this. I really like this skater. I think that he's a great athlete, but he also has intensity of performance and some sensitivity along the way as well. So you're looking at a full package here. This will continue to develop and mature equally from a technical perspective and from a performance perspective. Something very special.
No holding back.
No, it looks quite safe. It's good, strong technique here. You'll see the speed of the triple Lutz and good flow in the land. You may want to stretch it, being picky. Stretch free leg, stand up a little bit straighter, but not, really, that's really picky because this is a very good athlete. Look at the work here. The head lifted up with the arms. Takes the lean in here, takes the patience, looks up. And all those moves will grow as time comes on, but they're already pretty good for junior level. You see the triple Lutz or triple Salchow later in the program, and here it's the choreographic steps.
It's interesting. I recognize the costume. He works with Alexei Bychenko, and Israeli figure skater who competed in, I think, 3 Olympics, and the same costume that he wore. And he's got an amazing coaching staff. He's got Galit Shea, world medalist in ice dance, Bychenko in singles, Evgeny Krasnopolsky from pairs. So he's got all the bases covered.
He's surrounded by some superb coaching staff, no question, and experience. 118.06, that's third in the free program. This is a very talented young man. We're going to see a lot from him in the future. 178.45, that'll put Tamir currently into second place. He looks happy, smile on his face. Much more to come from this young man, no question.
Next to skate, representing Canada, Grayson Long.
Well, 15-year-old Grayson Long from Canada, coached by Brian Orser, Karen Preston, 112.52 is personal best, earning that last season on the Junior Grand Prix. And he'll skate to a medley music from Queen.
The 15-year-old Grayson Long from Canada, and he really, at 15 years old, already knows how to work a crowd.
Well, Mark, he's an actor too, eh? So he's a child actor, and so he knows how to communicate. He knows where the cameras are, he knows where the audience are, and he knows how to sell his program. And he loves doing that. That's part of who he is. That's why he's good. He rises to the occasion. That was a really good program. You know, he struggled a little bit on practice sessions and with some of the elements, but under pressure here, he loves to perform. He lifts the game up.
You can see Brian jumping.
Oh yeah. Here's the triple flip. He had some challenges throughout the week, but not in competition. A very focused young man. There's the triple loop. And a really good start to the program. He struggled a little bit on some of the landings near the end, but overall, what a great entertainer. You just have a smile on your face when you're watching Grayson skate, because he loves it and he wants to entertain, and he does.
And I bet you great fun for David Wilson and Joey Russell, who work in his choreography. I bet he's a dream to work with in that regard.
And just slipping off the back of the heel there. You know, the program, here's the triple Salchow. Double axel. It slips on that takeoff. He was fortunate just to have the feet underneath him. There's a little hitch kick. The whirly. And lots of energy throughout the program.
Yeah, checking Grayson online and seeing that he's vocal about the off ice that he does, works at the rotation room, and that an aspect that so many of the skaters so mindful of, and I'm sure he's working hard at the rotation room, off the ice, prepping for the triple axel and quads. Not using it now, but that's, I'm sure, something that he's very mindful of needing moving forward.
Yeah, no question. Don't know what happened there. We have two of the same replays.
Good speed within the combination spin. As with so many of the boys, though, still could be opening the chest a little bit more, extending the feet leg a little bit longer. And there with the legend that is
He
Brian
looks
Orser.
like he had a lot of fun, and so did we in watching him. Great job. Grayson Long, 111.53. That's fourth of the free program. Total competition score, 172.94. And that'll put Grayson currently into third place. Two skaters yet to come in this group.
Next to skate, representing Sweden.
Our next competitor comes from Sweden. 17-year-old Casper Johansson. This is his third junior Grand Prix season. Seventh after the short program. He's grown a lot, but he's a powerful and commanding skater. Hope he has a good performance here tonight. 117.66 personal best from last season. And he'll skate to the theme Avatar by James Horner.
Sweden's Casper Johansson delivers the second Avatar-inspired program that we've seen this week after Ella Hawkes from South Africa did it.
Yeah,
And he had to really dig deep.
Yeah, and I was a bit surprised because I've seen Casper in the practice sessions and he was skating quite well. I'm not sure what happened. Popped a lot of jumps, popped the flip, popped the loop, popped another one near the end. I think it was Osaka perhaps, and maybe the loop, I'm not sure, but and looks pretty tired, so perhaps he's just not in top shape yet. Starts off the program pretty good with a triple cell, triple toe loop. There's a pop. Here's triple Lutz. He had no problem with the triple Lutzes. Those worked out well for him in this program. But he looks just a little loose. Maybe just not in top shape yet in the season.
He did have a coaching change in the spring, so maybe still adjusting as we see that pop on the flip, and then Euler just double cell.
You're right, I didn't know about the coaching change, and that always takes a while to sort of adapt and understand the language and the new strategies. There's the other Lutz, so just not on top of his game. He's a really good skater, covers a lot of ice. He's got good jump technique, generally speaking, and he's nice and tight and straight and strong in the air, so that's good. But this was not his best skate, no question. Looked a little bit out of shape, perhaps, not sure. And I think there's much more to come from him throughout the season. Just not his best skate here tonight.
Yeah, and you can see, though, in great hands with Regina Jensen and the Higgelson family as well, who obviously know how to make international athletes. So we know that he's going to use this as a platform to grow. And he's experienced on the junior circuit, qualified for the Free Skate at Junior Worlds last year, and he'll be looking to push towards top 15 at Junior Worlds, I'm sure, as the season progresses.
Yeah, no question. And you know, when you do grow a lot, we've talked about this, it's fine because everybody does, you know, not everybody, but most people, many people have a large growth spurt. It's hard to keep yourself coordinated through that growing because you're changing every day. And once it settles down, you'll be fine. 104.12 for Casper. That's 7th in the free program. The total competition score of 168.76. And that'll put Casper currently in the 5th place. 7 skaters to come. Our final skater in this group from China, 16-year-old Wenbao Han, and coached by Yanhao Li. Needs 116.86 to take the lead, and he'll skate the free program here to Adios Nonino.
I love this music, and not always have we been able to see Chinese men as very expressive in their skating, but I thought that Wenbao Han did a great job with Adios Nanino, and that triple lutz, Ted, definitely at least a +3 in the GOE, if not higher.
Congratulations to Alvin Wong, who, at least on the bio here, did the choreography, because this was really well done, and I've got some of the steps you'll see in some of the replay, and I thought, wow, that is really good. Okay, here's the jumps, and they're beautiful. Look at that triple lutz, triple toe loop, fabulous. He's got good jump technique, a little off on the landings here and there, but a little bit later in the program, you're going to see some choreography that he didn't just do, but he actually performed it, and that is something new. You were referring to that. We don't often see that from some of the skaters in China, but now we are. So that last year, Mark, remember the Chinese skaters came, they were fantastic in their choreography and in their delivery of that as well. You can miss the jumps, but is the program there? And it is. And here's some of the steps, and here you'll see him working. Oh no, this was the two jumps. Yeah, I forgot what buttons to push, but no, that's right.
The lutz was
the lutz was good. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, you can see this great commitment to this work, upper body movement, use of the head, while he still skates, and yeah, really nice. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I suppose it just, you think of Jin Boyang, the Chinese man who has twice medaled, I think, at World Championships with bronze medals there, and he was a quad sensation and pushed boundaries with the expectations of the number of quads in a program, but he didn't have as great composition or presentation. It's so challenging for the coach to know which route to pursue most, and then some skaters take towards artistry and gravitate towards technical stuff. But
great job here for Wenbao Han of China, 111.52. That's 5th in the free program, but he's much stronger than that. Just has to clean up some of that small errors. 175.73, that's 3rd overall. Wonderful skater. I'm looking forward to seeing him again on the Junior Grand Prix as we take a look at the leaderboard. Top 5 so far in the competition. Final group taking to the ice. Mark, okay. We've got to get softer chairs. These plastic ones are really hard to sit this long.
It's been close. When you look at the standings there, you can see not a lot separates the standings.
No, and you know, we've talked about this, I've talked about this for years, is that generally speaking, I'm just making a generalization here, is that the men on the Junior Grand Prix have been more inconsistent. They're growing a lot. There's lots sort of going on. The women have been more consistent and deliver a bit stronger performances generally. Last year, the men really turned it on. They were really good. But, you know, this season, you're going to see some really good skaters have up and down performances. This is just what happens when you're a junior. And we see some great qualities and then some mistakes as well. So that's just the nature of the stage of development they're in.
Yeah, and we can't hide behind, the development in the humans. These are all teenagers who are coping with, as you say, growth spurts, hormone changes, and something I suppose we don't talk about a lot because it's borderline taboo, or we don't know exactly what's happening for each individual athlete, but we know that there's a lot of change going on in their lives, and to hold down the sport with the intensity that this requires is amazing for them, I think, as humans, but also even more challenging to be able to go through life dealing with the hormone stuff that you've got going on, as well as massive changes in your technical aspirations of the sport.
And I think it's so important for all of us to keep in mind that when we were at this age, were we that good? No. This is for sure. It's pretty remarkable. And they're going to have up and down along the way. And that's why I like following the juniors, because as we see them grow and have some challenges, then settle down and start to get better, and then grow into seniors and have a good career after that, it's fun to watch this journey. Because the journey's never done in 1 year. It's done over 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
It's the long-term athlete development that you want. You want coaches that are supportive of the athlete through those changes over a duration of time.
Yeah, patience, so important for, on behalf of the parents, of course, and the coaches and the skater. Patience and allowing yourself to have the good days and the bad days, and spend the time in development. See the big picture, the long term, not just what happened that day. Don't get too high with success or too low with failure. just keep going, working hard.
And for some of the skaters, there will be the awareness of the long-term development towards Olympic Games, because of course that is for so many the highest accolade to strive for.
Got
fans here to support.
Some of our cameramen there? No.
So it'll be interesting to see if Rio Nakata can take the title for Japan, or whether or not Francois Pitot or Jacob Sanchez will take this first Junior Grand Prix title of the series.
Yeah,
securing them 15 points.
Exactly. These 6 skaters are battling for those points, and you get 15 for first, 13 for second, 11 for third, and 9 for fourth. So you need every point you possibly can get, because you only have 2 chances to accumulate your points to qualify for the Junior Grand Prix final. So you want to get as much as you can on the first Junior Grand Prix, because as you go along, there's generally the field of skaters grows a little bit later on in the Junior Grand Prix.
With the skater in 5th place, Minkyu Seo, who has the fans here with the banner, and he was 3rd and 4th at his assignments last season, and then as a result of that just missed qualification for the final. So he wants to be in the mix as well.
You can see, I like the pan of the fans, because you can see a lot of the teammates and some of their parents and team leaders in the audience, but as well as a number of people, locals, who are enjoying this sport. They haven't seen this live to this degree. And there they are. It's so good, this environment here, because, okay, it's not a big building with 17,000 people, but it's an intimate building with support from your fans and your teammates, and also fans from Bangkok here. And there's an energy. It's something special. It's a special moment in their lives. And you can see the Korean skaters. You see themselves on the video board. There's Jake.
I remember you acknowledging, and many people acknowledging, that last season that there was a feeling of empathy and warmth from those that were supporting, and even if it weren't massive audiences, the empathy towards the skaters supported them towards better performances, or better feelings in regard to what they did offer.
Yeah. So this is the final 6 skaters in week 1 here. First time the ISU has brought an event to Thailand. And it's, you know, the medal ceremony has been beautiful. The costuming and the medals are sustainable. They're made, I can't remember what they're made of. Was it bottle caps? Or, I mean, that sounds funny, but it's just it's bottle caps, yeah. But they're beautiful. It's just, it's fantastic. Yeah. And yeah, you have to, oh, no, you're not here. I have to take a picture of them and send it to you. And the final 6 skaters, once again, thank you to the Federation from Thailand for all the work they've done to put this on. All the skaters and coaches, of course, the mom and dads that have traveled, and those that are at home watching online with us. Week 1. It's such a thrill for us to be here. We're looking forward to the next 6 weeks. And those skaters that are watching, that will join us on the Junior Grand Prix, come up and say hi. Give us some of your stories. Send it to Mark or to me. Let's make a wonderful 7 weeks of skating. Our first skater, the final group, Yu-Hsiang Li from Taipei. 6th after the short program with a 65.79, 125.30. Back in 2021 for the free program. So, and this is a great piece of music, Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles.
Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Who is it for? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon that no one will hear. No one comes near, forget him working, down in his socks in the night when there's nobody there. What does he care? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong?
Yu-Hsiang Li from Taipei. This is a skater who trains on busy public sessions with cones and beginners surrounding him and still manages to prepare himself for an event like this. And although that wasn't the best skate, my appreciation for his efforts, knowing what he trains alongside, is really admirable.
Well, he's a good skater. He didn't have perhaps his best skate here, and you saw the emotion at the end of the program. I'm interested with that is maybe the expectations or his desire to climb onto the podium. I'm not sure, or his disappointment with a few of the mistakes, but he has some nice moves in there. Good, strong jumper, good technique, no question there. But there were a couple, perhaps for him, surprise mistakes in the program. Just processing that as he comes off of the ice. So let's take a look at some of the elements. There's triple loop. Look at how solid that is. Look at the sensitivity with the arm and the head on that landing edge. And here is a triple axle. This is not all the way around. This is a downgrade. That's okay. He tried that. And followed up here with the triple flip. And just has to hang on to step out of it. Triple Salchow attempt. And then you saw the arms drop. He was mad with that, frustrated with that. And perhaps that emotion carried through in some parts of the program when you get really disappointed. And you don't want to show that because that breaks the performance by sort of letting your hands drop like, oh, darn it.
And that will factor into the judges when it comes to the presentation component if they haven't continued the commitment to the performance. But as we said in the warm-up, hard to manage those emotions.
Yes, it's
almost
true.
a blessing to see the reality of their emotions.
Absolutely true. Double axle Euler, triple Salchow. That was well done at the end of the program. Look at the hand and the head on that landing edge. There's the Lutz with the hands over above. And then the triple toe loop. Nice. Good work. He had some great moments in this program. He wanted it to be clean. Who doesn't?
And he has amazing input. He has the likes of Yuka Sato and Jeremy Abbott working on him.
Yeah, great coaching. Great experience in that coaching staff, of course. Let's take a look at the scores. But you know what? Good that you want more. Good that you're maybe a little disappointed. You want to always strive to be better. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just making sure it doesn't get too heavy. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. And you're going to have moments of disappointment and moments of joy. That's okay. But if they're too deep or they're too high, that's more of a challenge. 106.87, that's 7th in the free program. He's a good skater. Didn't have his best skates at 172.66. That is 5th overall at the moment. There are 5 skaters yet to come.
representing Korea, Minkyu Seo.
Our next competitor comes from Korea, 14-year-old Minkyu Seo. Needs 113.67. 135.20 is personal best last year in the Junior Grand Prix, skating to the music of Notre Dame de Paris.
I remember being so impressed last year when he was just 13 years old and still exuded expressive capabilities, and now a year later he's strengthened that even further with such good flow and glide. You can see the influence of Patrick Chan as well on him, who he works with.
Yeah, you can see the passion of the music in the passion of his movement, not all the time through the program, but during the crescendos and the highlights, he is fueled by that music and the passion of the voice, and that's just a really nice connection between the movement and the music, and so important to have, especially as you mature into seniors.
And
let's take a look at
the
some of
shake
the
of the
elements.
head, I think. Well, the flip toe was good. he intended the axel, didn't have axel last year. Lutz was consistent with last year too, 3-jump combination, solid, but knows that he needs triple axel, I'm sure. And that's why he's disappointed, I think.
Thought this was a interesting and well-done position. Good speed through this. Not easy. And butterfly going into the flying camel to keep it centered and with speed. We see the beautiful spread eagle here. A little small inner bower. You can see the movement with the head and the arms, and all the movements there. It needs to be a little bit more full, if you will, all the way, but really good. And this skater is all-rounded. He's a good jumper, good spinner, and he has certainly some performance skill as well.
And you can see with that triple loop, he's obviously got, as with the flip too, a comfort. I think he must have been jumping those triples from a very early age and looks really like no pressure or stress with those triples. And that's why he perhaps is allowing to really push the skating skills. And his skating skills, as a result of the flow and the glide and the speed and the power, much higher than anything that we've seen so far, even from Michael Seo, who leads.
He's going to be a fun skater to watch as he continues to develop, because he's got this love, performance, jumpability. Minkyu Seo, Korea, 128.72. That's first in the free program with a 196.12, and that puts him currently into first place overall. And there are 4 skaters to come. Will he climb onto the podium? Well, we'll find out over the next 30 minutes or so. He certainly has the possibility.
Next to skate, representing
Well, this was a wonderful surprise. 15 years old from New Zealand, Yanhao Li, national junior champion, sitting in 4th after the short program with the 72.28, 97.54 his personal best from last season. And will he have a great skate here in the free program? We'll find out right now. Well, there is something, I don't know how you feel about this, but there's something very, very special about this young man. If he does do some work with Patrick Chan, he is Chan-like in his skating skills, explodes off the ice into the air, and has something unique and special about him that is only him. I don't know, this is a star, this is a future star, and well, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch him develop. What are your thoughts?
Well, I remember when we saw him last year and we chatted to his coach, Bess Cow, and we're so impressed by what they were doing with the athletes in New Zealand. And I mean, look at the ice coverage in that Lutz and the toe. That just has to make the judges go positive in the grade of execution. And the triple flips were just special.
And you'll see some of that a little bit later in these replays. Look at the speed across the ice. There's the triple flip, just huge. It just looks like a double. And look at the speed coming here. The triple Lutz explodes off the ice, lifts into the air, resets, both arms and free leg lift up into the air for the double axel, double toe. What an athlete, but he's so coordinated and in control.
And one of the bullet points for the GOE positively is effortlessness, and
yeah,
this flip, just effortless.
Yeah, you know, and when you've seen a special skater, and there's always lots of work to do. Listen, we're not saying this is perfect for sure, but this young man is highly skilled, extremely well controlled, understands his body position both on the ice and when he's flying through the air as well, and has a bit of a passion for performance.
And interesting that he lists studying music as one of his hobbies as well, and I think that you can see in his all-rounded approach to skating that, as I've commented on, some of the jumps of the greatest quality, but in addition, a musical sensitivity and timing as well. So,
what would it mean for this young man and for the country of New Zealand to win a medal on the Junior Grand Prix? We have 3 skaters yet to come, and we'll see where Yanhao Li from New Zealand will end up at right now. See if he has a shot at the podium.
He added 15 points to the ISU short program personal best yesterday compared to our stats from previous year. It looks like if his ISU personal best comes from the Riga Cup last year of 97, I wonder if this is going to be one of the biggest score improvements year on year that we've seen, because it's going to be much higher.
Yeah. You're underplaying this, Mark. It's going to be huge. Yeah. Here we go. Let's watch the reaction to this score for the free program for Yanhao. 137.80. Okay, a little understated. Yeah, okay, not of approval. That's first in the free program with a 210.08 for Yanhao Li of New Zealand. Absolutely outstanding. Fun watching you skate. And we're going to look forward to seeing you again on the Junior Grand Prix as he takes over the lead with 3 skaters to come. Will he be on the podium? We'll find out very shortly. Our next competitor comes from Japan, 14-year-old Rio Nakata, 131.26 personal best, third after the short program, needs a 134.81 to take the lead. The pressure's on with Yanhao Li of New Zealand with that great performance. And he'll skate to James Bond.
When we talk about the range of emotions for competition, a range of emotions just within that 3.5 minute free skate for Rio Nakata. And Ted, I love the fact that the fist pump on the landing of that glorious opening quad toe shows his youth. It's not something that we're used to seeing the reaction mid-performance, but it's endearing.
Yeah, exactly. And he has only one speed, and that's full out. Like, there's just no, he wasn't tired at all. Like, just incredible conditioning. We're going to take a look at this quad. Oh, I picked up too late. Look at the distance and the height and the fist pump. Wow. And here's the triple axel, pardon me. Triple toe. Another fist pump. He was just motoring along, made a couple mistakes near the end of the program. Sometimes when things are going so well, you sort of take it for granted and you lose your concentration a little bit. But what a talented skater.
He won the Gensen Summer Cup, an event in Japan at the beginning of this month, and that in itself such an achievement. And he was the first alternate for the Junior Grand Prix final last year. He will want desperately to secure a place in the final this season.
Just 14 years old. Wow. We'll see him for a while.
And his dad was a professional skater, so he's had skates on his feet from a very early age, and that's now paying dividends because he looks so comfortable. Skating skills of ease and effortlessness.
Well, let's see. 131.26 is his personal best. He should beat that score with this performance.
One of my favorite things, Ted. Sorry, Ted. I was just going to say that his reaction to winning silver at the Riga Junior Grand Prix last year was one of the best reactions of a kiss and cry that I've seen. So I wonder how you'll feel now.
Well, 142.37 double fist pump there. That's first in the free program with a 217.65 as Rio Nakata of Japan takes over the lead. And there are two skaters to come. He's on the podium. Yanhao Li of New Zealand probably won't be on the podium. We'll see what happens to the next two skaters. But what a great group of skaters. This final group here. From France, 18-year-old Francois Pitot, 153.20 is personal best. He needs a 141.14 to take the lead. And he'll skate to a familiar piece, Crimea River, by Michael Bublé.
Well, another skater fist pumping the air. Last year we saw him lead after the short program in Poland and fell apart in the free skate. Not here, managing to rise to the pressure and vying for his first.
And you can see the technical
medal.
score for both Francois and Rio were essentially tied. Both had 70 points, so very little separating those two. We'll see what happens. And also in the short program, Francois was just over 1 point ahead. So this is going to be very, very tight. Here's the triple axel that has to do a 3-turn. Here's the second one here. Watch the arms and the free leg lift up nice and straight in the air. Gets that free leg out and steps up just in time to step up into the double axel. Good save, good sense of balance. And triple flip, absolutely no problem. A good jumper. And really nice position. There's the forward outside edge change. A little leap over. Change sit spin into level 3, so missing one of the features, leaving a few points or just a point or so on the table. There's a triple Lutz, later triple toe loop, beautiful combination late in the program. These young men are fit and in great shape.
And all the more impressive because he hadn't had the ideal preparation pre-season. His left blade stuck in his right foot and he had a hole in his foot and 3 stitches, and then test skates in France, he broke his skates and had to do the test skate in brand new skates. So really drawing on his experience coming into this season.
Good research, Inspector Hanratty. Well done. Well done.
Well, grateful to Francois because he got back to me and gave me some intel. So
that's great.
Thanks to him. Roman Ponsard, his coach now, and he's looking to move up to seniors next year. This is his last season, and it's going to be tight, Ted, with the scores.
Yeah, it's going to be really tight. Let's see, he needs a 141.14 to take the lead. Oh, it's ever so close. It's going to have enough for silver or go into second or third, but really tight. The judges are still going through the scoring process here. And both programs were wonderful.
Oh.
He's hoping. Here it is, 140.98. That's second in the free program with a total competition score of 217.50. So that'll put him into second place. He's on the podium, not a problem. That he'll drop down. Yeah, ever so close. Absolutely. A 1/10 of a point. Wow. Well, good that it's that close. Excellent. The final skater in this competition from the United States of America, 16-year-old Jacob Sanchez, 123.11 personal best last season. No, actually 2 seasons ago in 2021. The skater's really improved. He's sitting in first. Can he handle the pressure? Certainly has the skill. And they'll skate last. Desirable, because it means you're in first, but also a little bit of pressure. The gold is in his hands. He's skating to Saraban.
16-year-old Jacob Sanchez, and despite the disappointment, all of the pressure, the last skater in this Junior Grand Prix event, so much mounting pressure upon him all day. But despite the mistakes at the start, he utterly committed to the program to the very last gasp.
Yeah, the heart was racing, and he was as well throughout that program, and just muscled the takeoffs and got on a lean in the triple axels. But he's such an incredible athlete, wonderful jump technique. And when you're in that position, and you have to learn how to be in the lead and still handle the free and be able to come back as well. So there's that big lean on the takeoff. We'll take a look at the second one as well right here. Going to slow this right down. Watch right here in the slide. Look at the lean on the air, in the air, and the feet were not underneath him on the landing, so it couldn't stay up. Triple loop, a little bit of a lean, but he's so strong, so athletic, great speed throughout the program. He's great ability, no question of that, but that's a lesson learned. Skating last in first on a Junior Grand Prix. New experience. And watch this, butterfly.
That was great.
Yeah, just great.
And interesting, Jacob is an ambassador for Diversify Ice and promotes diversity in figure skating. And we've talked about the different nations. Great to see him promoting diversity as well. And there, with his coach, 1984 Olympic bronze medalist in pairs, works with Oleg Makarov and Larissa Selezneva. Great to see him still smiling in the kiss and cry.
Yeah, what a great young man and a terrific athlete, and the pressure situation. But you have to go through those to learn how to handle it, because you want that to give you experience, so that, let's say you're at the Olympic Games and you're in first after the short and you got to skate last. I mean, you want to have had that experience to learn how to handle the situation. Here are the scores: 123.80. That is actually fifth in the free program, with a total competition score of 201.49, and that will put Jacob Sanchez into fourth place. That'll be a little disappointing. He certainly has the ability to take the title in another Junior Grand Prix and maybe qualify for the final. Got some work to do on that. There is the top five. And we'll take a look once more at the final standings as Rio Nakata of Japan moves up to take the gold. And there it is.
If this is the first ISU medal for a skater from New Zealand.
Yes, 217.65, 275 for Francois Pitot, and Yanhao Li of New Zealand captures the bronze. Probably the first, I don't know, but I think it is the very first Junior Grand Prix, maybe even senior, I don't know, medal for New Zealand. Wow, something special. So I hope that the fans will stay around and watch the medal ceremonies for both the dance and the men's event. That concludes our coverage here in Bangkok, Thailand. Hey, Mark, so wonderful working with you. You're just brilliant with your research and brilliant comments, and so supportive of the skaters. It's a great joy to work with you and your professionalism all the way. So we thank you for joining us. And of course, you'll be joining me once again next week. I'll be in Linz. You'll be at home. So looking forward to it. Mark, thank you so much. Any closing words?
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me. Just been a fantastic start to the Junior Grand Prix. Can't wait for next week. Thank you, Ted.
And thank you to the Federation from Thailand for all their incredible work that they've done in putting this very first ISU competition in Bangkok here at the Center of Excellence for the ISU. Make sure you stay with us for the medal presentation for all of us here at the ISU and our production crew. And Mark Hanratty, I'm Ted Barton. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week from Linz.
just stay right there.